is my weirdo guitar. It was built, start from there. It was built by Dave Johnson, who has a little guitar shop in his attic called Scale Model Guitars. It's a 43rd guitar he's made. That's the serial number there. And I guess go back to the beginning. When I first started playing guitar in this band, I didn't really know how to play 6 string because I didn't take lessons or anything like that. And me and my brother just wanted to play like simple punk songs and stuff. So I had this really cool like Dean Hollywood Z guitar, my first guitar that my dad bought me at like a guitar show for $90, I think. And I somehow like broke the nut, and I had just only could put the 2 strings on there. So I had a acoustic string and electric string, both tuned to the same note. And I guess my idea was like I didn't have to tune anybody, and all I had to do was just, you know, do that, and I could play chords, you know. And it was much easier to like learn the guitar that way, you know. And then eventually added a 3rd string to make like more complicated chords, you know, stuff like that. And then once we started touring as like a 2-piece band, like touring the United States and stuff, I had this like shitty like Ibanez, like the $200 like Guitar Center guitar, you know, with 3 strings on it. We were trying to get like, it's really hard if it's just 2 people to get like a really good like low end like beefy like sound of, you know. I've seen a lot of 2-piece bands that's just guitar and drums, and like you just can't hear the guitar, all you hear is drums. I think there's 2 main things. Like if you eliminate all the high strings, then you're not mucking up the sound. You just get powerful chords. That's all you really need if you want to do some like kind of lead stuff. You can get up pretty high still. Another thing is you got to keep that hi-hat tight. You can't keep open hi-hat because it's just too loud. I learned that from the Velvet Underground. We just for a long time didn't even play with cymbals because they just muck up, you know. Don't give enough room for the guitar to be loud. We're all about loud guitars. Toured with that Ibanez 3-string for about 5.5 years or so, until it got stolen out of the van with a bunch of other shit, which is kind of sad because like I don't think I took the tuning pegs out of the other side of it. I don't think you'd sell it or anything because it was beat to shit and just a total wreck, you know. So I had to get I had just started talking to Dave about getting this, and he had luckily already kind of like copied the neck style. And this was like, he had emailed me on MySpace, which was a long time ago. MySpace was still, or he emailed the band or messaged the band on MySpace and said he was moving to town and wanted to build a guitar for me. But at the time I was broke, of course. So when I got some money, we kind of revisited that idea and we started designing this guy. The neck is basically the exact same neck as the Ibanez guitar, just because I got so used to playing it, just with different types of wood and stuff. I don't know too much about wood, so I can't really. I think that's like a cherry wood, right? I don't know. It's black. It's real dark. It's got some nice. I don't know what you call that. Coloration. I don't know. Anyways, I always wanted an SG because I think SGs are the most badass looking shape of guitar. So I told him I wanted an SG body, and then we just kind of took like a stencil of the SG body and put the neck on it, and then looked at a bunch of different style headstocks, and I thought this one looked the coolest, and worked really good for like having this configuration of machine heads. This is like this design here is taken from Firebird also. and that's taken from classic SG pickguard. This was my idea, just to have like just a chrome plate with just the input and just volume. That's it. The pickup was wound by a guy named Lynn in Nashville, who's like a master pickup builder. It's just a half of a pickup, which was like one of my favorite parts of it because it's very custom. We wanted to get this stuff filled in and re-chromed and get like, but maybe someday when I'm rich we could do that. Dave also is like a master inlayer, so we did mother of pearl, JEFF The Brotherhood. My own favorite features. My favorite thing about this guitar though is the tuning, the tuning thingies here. Because I like to get kind of rowdy. You know, our crowds get real rowdy, and we jump in the crowd and stuff. People jump on stage, and when you're playing just guitar and drums, if one like tuning peg gets bumped, you know, or then and one string goes out of tune, especially with a 3-string guitar, you can't. You know, you have to stop the song and retune. It's just going to sound horrible. So we got these tuning pegs that they tune from the back, like, and they're real tight. So you can run around and bump into everything, and very rarely has one of them gone on. And you can change the strings really fast on them too. These just unscrew and you stick the string in, tighten it down, and clip it off. They're awesome. I don't even know what they are, but I told him that was an issue, and he was just like, "Oh, well, what about these?" They work perfect. It's really cool if you look at it like this. You can see all the guts. And if you look at it from the back, too. You can see through it. I always want to play a show naked in this because you can see my penis through the guitar, which would be funny. This strap is actually handmade too by a company in Chicago called Soldier. I think that's what it's called. They're a cool company. It's made out of a seatbelt. And this is actually a scrap of lucite from the Shed Aquarium in Chicago. Dave's from Chicago. He used to have his shop in Chicago. That's pretty much it. That's the guitar. I just had him build 2 6-string versions of it for our expanded, like, second half of our set, where it's 2 guitars and a keyboard player. Yeah, I tune it to drop D, just D-A-D. And then the 6-string ones are drop C sharp, grunge tuning.